Good evening. Welcome to Blockchain Banter, episode 52. How we doing, Chris? Good evening, mate.
All good here, brother. All good here. Yeah, this should be a really good one. I'm actually looking forward to this. What on earth is that?
Casper's messing with the iPhone again. Get it off him. Come on, get it off him. How we doing, Casper?
Hey man, found some options here. Let me play a bit. Okay, all good. Hi everyone.
That scream was perfect. I'm used to screams like that because my missus normally shouts at me for everything. So that brought me back home. These are actually great, aren't they? Boom. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Casper's got the power tonight. Them buttons, I don't know where you got them from, but they're doing the bit, man. They're doing the bit. Let's go around and say hello to people coming up, and while we get the room warmed up. Mike, good evening, brother. Long time no speak. How are you?
How's everyone?
Good, man. Good. Chilling. Been looking forward to this space for a minute, actually. Looking forward to hearing all the updates from everyone. How's you, though? Everything all right?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I did the laser eye surgery like a couple of weeks ago, and like things were crazy. And I don't wear glasses anymore, and this is crazy AF.
Wait, so you mean to tell me you was blind while building Igra Labs?
A little bit.
Well, now you have laser eyes, Mike. Do you shoot teal-colored laser coming out of
Yeah,
them?
I'm Superman. Like I can also fly, but that I also did before. I just didn't tell you.
Love it.
But now he has, sailor's laser eyes.
Yeah. You need them with the ship you're sailing. It's going well, I hear, as well. We'll definitely be diving into that a bit later. I think I don't know how much everyone can divulge. I know that obviously Igra are up here with us, and we've also got Casper from Casplex, two of the layer 2s that are looking to come out hopefully soon. So we'll definitely be diving into that. That would be fantastic. Try to squeeze some alpha out of all of you.
Cool. Yeah.
Awesome. Levendi, what's the plan of action for today's show?
We've got a nice plan of action, actually. Let's say hi to Nacho first. You come up. What's going on? Is that Ashton behind the mic?
Yes, it is. It's another Monday, man. I'm doing fantastic. Had a nice weekend. My kids are actually home. It's Memorial Day here in the U.S., so we got a bank and school holiday. But doing great, man. Happy to be here.
Oh shit! Happy Memorial Day, man. I can't believe how many times these things slip my mind. We're just so deep into doing things. It's just building things. Let's clarify it. That these things just slip my mind.
Yeah, it is what it is. I don't know much about UK holidays, so don't ask me questions about what you guys got going on.
I can't believe you don't know them all. What do you mean?
Do you really say there in the States Happy Memorial Day? Or it's like not happy.
It's like it's not really something you say Happy Memorial Day to people that you see on the street and stuff like that. It's more like honoring fallen soldiers that have been part of the military.
Yeah,
they do like little like parades.
It's like it's like saying Happy Yom Kippur in Israel or something else.
yeah, similar for sure.
Yeah.
Sweet. Right. Sorry. Yeah, I was muted. I was talking to myself. Thanks for that one, Dennis. I appreciate that. That was a lesson there for me.
Yeah, happy Holocaust Remembrance Day. Yeah, something like this. Yeah. Yeah, no. Newcomers to Israel sometimes do it. Yes, because they just don't understand. Yeah,
goodness.
But okay. Yeah,
you got to be in tears already. 5 minutes into the show, bloody hell.
I mean, the next funeral I go to, I might just say happy funeral. I mean, if we're...
Oh, God. Where have we gone down to? Bloody hell. All right, let's get back on track, man. So
No, we should start on light food. Yeah.
yeah, good evening. So the plan of action, Chris, as you have asked, we've got a juicy one tonight. Updates from all, well, a couple of layers being built on Casper. We've got Igra Labs, Casper door. We also got Zealous Swap joining us and Nacho here on stage. So looking forward to peeling back the layers and finding out all that juicy alpha.
Boom, baby. So I know that some people are on a time crunch. So is it the Igra lads are on a time crunch? So shall we start with them and then move on? I'll let you direct us which way we're going with this, Levendi, because I don't know the order of who we're having up.
Yeah, no problems. Absolutely spot on. We start with the Igra Labs. Like you guys got a bit of a time crunch, so we'll get your updates first, then we'll slide on over to Casper door and then Zealous Swap.
Incredible. So, Dennis, Mike, what have you guys been getting up to with Igra Labs and how's it developing? That's the like golden question everybody's wanting to know.
I don't know, Mike. You start. Okay,
Okay,
you
I'll
from
start.
small to guy. I don't know.
So, like maybe before last time we spoke, we were all crunching just like to get some prototype out to figure out what are like the big players and to get something working. And once we got that in place, now we kind of took the time to regroup to figure out what's missing to figure out how to do this properly and production ready. So the team has been doing a lot of refactoring. What I've been mostly doing, beside like going crazy over this eye surgery, was working on architecture. We have quite a few architectural, how to say it, challenges that we are in the midst of solving. We need to specify exactly how ATNS work, and then we have to write this ATNS code, and that's going to be quite a challenge. It seems like me and Roman were going to spearhead this challenge, and the rest of the team is of course going to support us as well as build the rest of the parts of Igra on a level that befits an actual crypto project.
Yeah. So I basically, you know, lots of people who are here already using our DevNet, and it's working and stuff. But we want to make it kind of more production ready, yes, and release something also quite soon. So there will be kind of new testnet version quite soon. Yes, but I won't share any specific details as of now. Yes, so I'm sorry.
No, that's perfect. Because again, I think what people are really looking for as well in the Casper community is for things not to be too rushed. I'd rather something be done right than just rushed and put out there. Obviously, there's always going to be uncertainties anyway, I assume, anyway, when you launch. But it looks like you're obviously doing a good job at testing out first everything you need to do. With the ATNS, can you...
No, okay. Yeah, no. Okay.
Sorry, I was just going to say about the ATNS. Could you go into more detail about what they actually are and what they achieve, what they're needed for?
So this is the basic premise of KEEP15 was the idea that, well, the first and foremost challenge is the fact that Kaspa is doing pruning, and it has UTXO commitments in block headers, so that even when some data is pruned, the block data is pruned, you can make sure that if the UTXO set you are getting from a non-trusted peer in the network is correct. Well, this is not possible on a layer 2 because layer 2 cannot add anything to the block headers. We don't have this royalty. We will be able to do something with that the moment we have zero knowledge, and then you will be able to send layer 2 state commitments on chain, and the miners are going to verify those in some way, which is still under research. But until we get this, there's no real way to verify that you're getting correct data from a pruned node. So what you want to achieve is you want to store all the information that is required by the layer 2, which basically is all the relevant transactions. By relevant, I mean all transactions, all Caspa transactions that also carry a layer 2 payload. In our case, that's IGRA, but any layer 2 will work more or less the same way. And the ATN will store the minimum required information to have provably correct layer 2 data. I hope this makes any sense to anyone. Anyway, the idea is that this is something you attach to a full node that will be able to download and verify the whole history of the layer 2.
Awesome. So with ATNs then, is this something that's only needed pre ZK implementation for or the opcodes, ZK opcodes for Casper? So could you get rid of the ATNs once you have ZK functionality, or do you still need to run the ATNs after ZK opcodes?
Well, the question is for what? It will not be strictly required for validating the state anymore, but I think many layer 2s might want to keep the history. It's like the same way you have an archival node for Kaspa, which you might want for, I don't know, for a block explorer. You might want it for some business need you have. You might need to prove to some lawyers where you got some money or whatever. Like, it depends on your business use case. So you will want to keep the history, but not want to keep the history of all the Caspa network, right? Because that's like a lot of data, and you don't want to keep the block headers, and there's a lot of redundant data that you don't need. So ATNs will be great for this. And also, I think that without layer 2s, they would be great just like as an alternative archival Caspa node. So they will not be strictly necessary for security as they are right now, but they will still have a use case for some people.
Awesome. Dennis, was you going to say something?
No, what Mike said, I just want to clarify that, like how I see it, that for now, before Kaspa Layer 1 implements the ZK verification opcodes, this thing is absolutely necessary to prove that the state of L2 is correct. Okay, without this thing, it's impossible, simply impossible. Okay. After after
I'm not sure if it's me that's bugging out or if we've lost Dennis.
No,
I
we
think-
definitely lost it. Yes.
Yeah,
But,
definitely.
Yeah, I can't hear him
I
either.
don't hear him either.
Oh, gutting. It looked like he was getting to a really good part then as well.
I heard a birdie say that he was actually gonna announce that we're gonna do 1,000 blocks per second. I think that was what he said.
Casper door with it straight away. Oh dear. We should. Why don't we use these little voices more often? I think they're fantastic. When Ashton was speaking, I was looking for a cat emoji one, but they don't have one. They've only got a dog.
Well, that
Yeah, I know. That's why I didn't do it in the end. I thought, but how can they not have a cat? It's like the easiest thing to do. Meow. Like, oh, God knows. We'll talk to Elon after this anyway. But yeah. So with the ATNS, they're basically are they more of a leaner archival node, if you know what I mean? They're not so intensive as an archival node, but they still a good functionality for keeping obviously all the data that you require.
Well, we did quite an extensive job on just like letting go of anything that is redundant. So yeah, it will be much less hard disk heavy.
Awesome, thanks for that, Mike. And it looks like it's Dennis back.
Yeah. Listen, I was walking around the yard and I got too far from the Wi-Fi hotspot. No, I don't know where I was cut off, but I'm saying that my position, Mike, tell me, what do you think? That as far as I see currently, I don't see any other way except a turn to prove the layer 2 state is valid. Okay. After the ZK opcodes will be implemented on Casper layer 1, it will be done with this verification. But now it's simply impossible. We cannot release our network without a ton. Okay.
Well, theoretically, it is possible with archival nodes. They're just very inefficient.
Yes, but then okay, you have a huge problem. How do you synchronize this archival nodes? How do you trust them?
Yeah.
This is the cleanest solution.
It is a pain in the ass. That's why we invented the ATNS. The main premise there is just to reduce storage to a bare minimum.
Yeah, Levendi and Chris, whoever asked this, if you are aiming for 1,000 transactions per second, forget it with archival nodes. Forget it. Okay, impossible. Only ATNS. Okay.
Yeah, I think at 1,000 blocks per second, we will have to rethink ATNS as well. But it will be a good first step.
Maybe rethink, in the sense of kind of small engineering challenge that can be solved in a month, but it's simply impossible with full archival.
Yeah,
okay?
You will not have enough hard disks.
Could we convince Elon to use one of his super Tesla data centers? I'm sure he'd lend out a few.
No. The worst thing that can happen to a crypto project if a very eccentric billionaire appears in its field. It's like he's gonna be Craig Wright all over again. Please, no, Elon in Kaspa. Please, no.
No, no, listen, Elon is not Craig Wright. Okay, shut up. Okay, I will be very happy. If Elon will appear in Kaspa and Nigra, I will be very happy. Okay, yeah, yes.
Leave it with
I
me,
think
and I'll sort
it
it out.
will make us all very fortunate, and it will send the project to shits
Why?
because
He'll come out and say he's Satoshi.
if you have a person that has
Yeah, Elon will never say that he's Satoshi. Okay,
no, that's not the thing. Elon will just he has so much money, and all that money will give him so much power that like anyone who wants to get financed will have to agree with him no matter what he says, like turning him into sort of a dictator. He didn't announce himself
Listen,
dictator.
Mike, no, I think it's a stupid argument. For example, Elon likes this Dogecoin. Okay, how does it really, like in a very deep sense, impact Dogecoin? Okay,
Dogecoin has no real meaning anyway. It has nothing to lose because it's just a copy pasta coin. It's just a meme coin. I don't disrespect this, but Kaspa has actually.
Don't disrespect the Dogecoin. The Dogecoin has, I think, slightly more hash power than Kaspa still.
Yeah, but
It's a real proof of work layer 1 project with more hash power than
who
Kaspa.
cares? Bitcoin has more hash power than Kaspa as well, and I think that Bitcoin is technologically dead.
Okay.
So
Here we don't agree.
the
Okay,
thing
fine.
is that
No,
wait,
technologically dead, I agree, but
if you ask me a
but
question, let me finish the answer. The thing
yeah.
is that Kaspa still has work to do. Kaspa has to tackle the real challenges and solve real problems. It cannot do that if it is blinded by too much money. There is a reason why Jonathan, when beginning Kaspa, didn't take 20 millions but took 2 millions. If he took 20 millions, it would have been sidetracked. It would.
Listen.
Now, wait. Let me finish.
Mike, what?
Elon Musk thinks he knows what is true. If he comes to Kaspa, he will begin to give him commands. Now, he is not Jonathan. He is not committed to the truth of things. He supports stupid politicians. He supports stupid ideas. He supports his own whims. And if he has enough money to back this up, people will do whatever he tells them to do instead of doing whatever they're supposed to do, which is research the actually hard problems. This is why I don't want Elon in Kaspa.
So you think he'll pay off Coder staff, Michael Sutton, you, and everybody to do some stupid something?
I think he will put a lot of money on projects that look interesting, and a lot of smart people that need money will go work on those projects rather than work on what they are supposed to work.
Wait. I was thinking you were talking about his influence on the core team, potential influence, right? Now you're talking about that he will finance some stupid projects.
No.
I want him to finance stupid projects. Okay.
I think he will finance some things that might sound real to people like me or Satan or whomever. And we will waste a lot of time before we realize that we wasted a lot of time on working for an idiot.
How about this?
I think you're contradicting yourself. Either he's a genius and he's
When did I say that he's a genius? I said he has a lot of money.
So you say you can be blindsided by a lot of money, right? This is what you're saying.
I think that everybody, no matter how morally and technologically just he is, can be blinded by too much money.
Okay.
How about this?
Yes,
then?
I agree.
This is a
okay,
work round. We have Elon work on Casper, but then whilst he's doing that, convert the world to actually using just Kaspa as currency, not fiat, then he no longer becomes the richest man in the world because all he's left with is worthless fiat.
No, listen. What I want from Elon, I know that he's turning Twitter into the X into a kind of bank and kind of everything money solution, and he will choose some coin for the internal payments, and he will of course choose Dogecoin, and I want him to choose Kaspa. That's all. It will. I think
He should definitely choose
if he
Kaspa.
does it, it will far outweigh any detrimental effects that you might think will come. Okay.
Well, I have a story to tell.
If it happens, so many Kaspa holders will be so rich. They will fund an alternative core development team. Okay. And do another implementation, and another implementation, another implementation. Everything will be so sweet. Okay.
So yeah, that's definitely gonna happen. But I have a story to tell, if you don't mind. Just when finishing Kaspa, like maybe a month after release, I was reading Zhuangzi. It's a Taoist philosopher, and in one of the chapters, he's telling about a city where smart people have created a system where everything is just, and the judicial system was great, and the city flourished because of it. And they created the system for the good of the people. But then thieves came and stole the city. They took control of the city. And now this great system that these smart people have built is serving the thieves. And then he summarizes that any intellectual achievement is essentially eventually will get stolen by thieves, and instead of serving the good of the people, will serve the thieves. Now, I don't
listen, Mike.
Wait,
I think
let me finish. Let me finish.
yeah, that parable has place, and yes, I think we see it in our political systems all the time. Yes, we see it here in Israel. Yes, we had not a perfect system, right? But you know, one which was working
Wait,
20, 30 years ago better before Bibi came into power, right? And now we have now he took the ordered kind of nice system and whatever. Yes,
yeah. So
I'm getting
what I'm saying,
into internal Israeli politics.
What I'm saying is, he concludes that like everything will happen this way. What I'm saying is, and I was reading that and like, oh my god, I just released like cryptocurrency, and I was only thinking about like, we will do this properly, it will be just, it will be great, and then like this story in my face. And my answer to that was, if we are diligent enough, we can avoid this fate. But the danger is real, and many good projects, many projects that were there to do good to the world were taken by thieves and converted to crap.
Mike,
so I'm really afraid of that.
I tend to agree, and I agree with you. Yes, it is a danger, and ultimately, I'm saying it to you from my kind of monkish stance. Okay, like from my religious kind of stance, that this is the ultimate fate of anything we build in this world. Okay, but I'm getting too religious now. Okay.
I think we can get better, but I think the most important part here is what you said in the beginning, that if somebody steals Kaspa, we are still gonna work on a cryptocurrency that works.
Yeah, we just fork just fork Kaspa and do it right.
Yeah, and start a new, and again we will have to. We don't care.
Yeah.
We need to build the thing that works.
He makes a good point though, actually, because I think over time, anything does get sort of centralized, or at least the control of it gets centralized. So like it's sort of like Pareto's principle, isn't it? Like 80% of the wealth is held by 20% of the people type deal. But do you not see that happening now with Bitcoin? Because I personally do. I see like a big vacuum of top people that can actually afford this sucking up Bitcoin. And I think that will get to a point where literally 10-20% of the people will hold 80% of the supply. And obviously there's a danger for that for Casper as well. So, but again, is there anything anyone can do about that? Probably not.
Proof of work makes it extremely difficult from the beginning. Okay, for anyone to accumulate too large a percentage of the supply. Okay, this is for me a principal difference between proof of work and proof of stake. Okay, this is why I'm in a proof of work religion. Okay.
Well, nevertheless, in Bitcoin, it's quite a problem. Like, assume that Bitcoin becomes the basis of the global economy.
Yes, and there will be an arms race between like people with lots of money, governments, and people like me and you. Okay, it will be a huge arms race. Okay, and we'll get our third. We'll get it. We'll get it. It's impossible for them to take everything. Impossible.
I think it's impossible, like technologically, in Bitcoin to distribute. It's not even like a technological possibility. I'm not even talking like morally.
Yes. I was talking financially, but it's also very, very hard, simply technologically, for anybody to. No, markets just don't work this way in the systems which were built fairly from the beginning. Okay,
but
it's very, very hard to accumulate kind of whatever. Yeah.
But what about like the sort of like Cantilian effect, where like where we're still in a fiat-based system, they can print money at a whim, but there's a big difference between price inflation and currency inflation. So currency inflation happens first, and then the price inflation's felt months, years, whatever afterwards. And on that Cantilian effect, obviously the people that get the money first when it's printed still like can buy things up cheaper because a shit ton of money's been added to the system. But
right, you're assuming they can buy a big chunk without all the other participants in the market knowing, and it's very hard with Bitcoin and with Kaspa.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, there's only so many people selling at any one time, and I suppose with the
this is what I'm saying. If you from the beginning distribute the supply fairly to small miners okay, there will be a huge chunk of not a few people who are from the beginning holding huge allocations, who governments or Musk or Bill Gates or whoever or Soros will come to and just make a kind of back of the whatever deal. Okay, no, they will need to come to million, not to millions, to how many, to tens of thousands at least people, and it's very hard. It's very, very hard. It's to do it without all the other tens of thousands knowing.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, yeah, like you said, if you just decided to dump billions on Bitcoin right now, there's not enough supply to to fulfill billions worth. So, like, you'd get into trillions and trillions of market cap just on Bitcoin alone.
No, and the price, the beauty of it is when the market senses the movement, okay, the price will immediately reflect that, okay, and Bitcoin will go to 1 million, then to 10 million, then and then they will not be able to print, even huge governments will not be able to print enough money.
That's true, and then
buy
be stuck
it, okay? Because also they have their own problems printing money, okay? But the inflation, no. I think it's it's very hard to impossible with Bitcoin or Kaspa for any player on the market to kind of by sneaky move to get a huge allocation after uh, uh, a few initial years when the almost all the supply was distributed fairly. Again, this is why I love proof of work, and I don't like proof of stake.
And even better when it's as fair launched as you can get. I know some people don't like using the term fair launch, but it's as fair launched as you can get. And this is also why I absolutely love Casper, is because the reason K Heavy Hash was chosen was to stop any sort of ASICs coming online straight away in mining. It gave such a big coin spread, which again really does help. So yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to the future of Casper. I genuinely, every time if there's any doubt in my mind, I just have to research it a little bit more, and then I just realise that like this is the crypto that's solving all the problems that are in the crypto space, and it just makes sense. So yeah, I mean, again, everyone's eyes are now on smart contracts and layer twos for Casper. I was going to ask, since 10 blocks per second and the crescendo update's been successful, has that helped you get more data and more metrics for the layer 2 or for IGRA labs?
I don't know. No, we're prepared for it, and no, everything worked as expected. Yes.
I mean, it did actually work flawlessly, didn't it? Like there wasn't even a hiccup. The transition was
Yes,
insane.
for any non-technical people here, you just don't understand how huge this achievement is. Okay, what Sutton and Quadro staff and other people who managed all this transition did. Okay, it's such a fragile thing. Okay, yes, and to execute it flawlessly is. It's like superhuman. Okay, yeah,
And it was flawless. And what really pisses me off
yeah.
actually is nobody or no media companies in the crypto space even acknowledged it. And it's like, this is groundbreaking stuff. A proof of work that's doing 10 blocks per second is like, it's unheard of. Nobody ever thought
No,
a proof of
listen.
work could do this.
When I saw it, that the wider world didn't react, I finally got it. Okay, that the what you call the wide world, or what you said, is simply really is not aware of Kaspa. Kaspa is still not on their radar. Okay, it's hard to believe, but now I'm persuaded so. Okay, they simply don't know, don't care. For them, Kaspa, for us, Kaspa is the center of our world, and we know that it's whatever. For the total majority of participants of people in the crypto space, Kaspa is one of the 100, one of the 100 potentially interesting projects, but no, nothing more than that. I got it specifically when I saw what you saw. Okay, that nobody reacted to Crescendo transition. No news. No general news. Kind of crypto news. Nowhere.
And that,
I've got it.
does part of you think that's because there's no money to be made for those people? There's no business to pay them to write an article, or there's no.
Yeah. For people who write this news, yes, of course. I think you're correct. Yes, it's one of the reasons. One of the reasons. But if the general crypto population were aware of it and supportive of it and everything, they would force this some the on X people would be writing, okay, random people. No, it's a it's a factor, but not a deciding factor at all, in my opinion. No, I've got it after fucking 3 years. I've got it that the wide world still doesn't get Kaspa. Okay, uh, I think people who do deep research in Ethereum, in Solana, in other projects, they know who what Kaspa is and what Jonathan did and everything. But this is kind of academic. Okay, I'm talking now about the general academics. No, but. People who try to make money, who are simply interested in the space. I've got it finally. They don't know what Kaspa is. They are not persuaded. Okay.
I think it was quite an explicit decision on our side to never focus on the crowd. And
Yes. Yes.
wait,
I
let me
know.
finish.
Yeah.
Let me finish. And what you're saying absolutely correctly is the direct result of that. And although it is negative, I think taken with the benefit of being able to focus on the actual problems, to never answer to a billionaire, to always just do the academics, it's totally worth it. On the other hand, I do want to say that you guys should start pumping out those stickers and start like telling everybody that there is a coin that actually does the thing, that doesn't put any money into advertisements, and this is why it is still unknown, but it is the future of cryptocurrency because it actually does what needs to be done instead of wasting time and money on marketing.
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
you
Okay. It is. Yes. And listen. Now kind of. Also, we can now go back to Atans and everything. Is that I now firmly believe, okay, for example, that this solution with having fat archival servers, okay, which can or maybe cannot, it's a kind of DevOps problem, okay, hold the load, okay. Uh, this against, for example, what Mike does with and Roma with the tons, okay. Uh, uh, this will not fly with people outside of Kaspa community who are able to appreciate what Kaspa does. Okay, and a ton will. Okay, because it's a neat, good computer science, cryptographically hermetic solution. Okay, and this is why we chose to do it. Okay.
Awesome, awesome. I think we need to dedicate a whole space and have a deep dive on this because I think there's people that have been itching to speak and they've got updates as well. So we might hit you up in the back end. Dennis, Mike, we can sort out a proper time scale of a BB to deep dive into it because I've loved this conversation, hearing it. There's a few people in the audience I've been sending messages as well. So I think we should dedicate a space to this. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, 100%. That'd be fantastic if we get a full dedication.
No, but please do it in 2 months, okay? When we have a ton half ready. Okay.
Deal. That sounds like a good deal. We'll book you in 2 months in advance.
Oh, hang on. One question. I keep getting sorry. To just I've been getting hit up by this question. People are asking me so much. I gotta ask you while we got you up here. Testnet. When is it? What's happening? What's going on with that?
Our
Yes,
testnet, Igor
yes, yes.
testnet. Listen, I don't know if Pavel is here. He will kill me if I tell you any firm date. Yes, so I don't tell you firm dates.
I
I
will
tell
kill
you
you as
June.
well.
June. No, Mike will kill me first, okay? Because
I will kill
because
both
Mike.
I will
you
kill you. I will kill you
and Pavel
faster.
for
So
allowing you to do that.
no
Yeah.
other word, please, guys. Now just no zip.
Okay.
Pa-
We will
time.
not have the testnet until Q1 2026. Okay. You happy? No, nobody's
Just
happy.
I was wrestling with my mic. Sorry, I was on a different tab.
We want to have it as fast as possible, but we want to do it properly. And right now we are at the stage where we're drafting the architecture, and giving any dates would be either being overly pessimistic or probably lying. Once we have an architecture
No.
and we get it specified, we can estimate how much time will it take, but we're still working on that.
No. Okay.
Guys,
First of all,
guys.
we have the architecture. Okay. And
Yeah.
yes, and it's like, listen. This is what happens in our developer meetings. Okay. And Mike is always coming and saying, "Fuck you all." Okay. The women don't give birth sooner than 9 months. Okay. What do you? What's going on? Yeah, something like that. Okay, this is Mike's position. Okay, yes, it's a very valid position, very nice position. Yes, things uh, take time, but it's not that we don't have the architecture. Okay, and
What I meant is that we still need to figure out a lot of details.
yes,
And
we need to choose. We need to carefully consider a few paths, okay, a few forks on our way, and choose it. Okay, and then everything becomes simple. Yeah.
but we're working on it, and believe me, we all want it to be as soon as possible.
No, Mike, because you're like we have you cannot tell the general public that, oh, we don't know what to do, we don't have any architecture, we
No,
what
that's not what I was saying, but I get your point.
yes, it's a bad wording, very bad wording. Yes,
All right.
don't do it. Yeah, no, but listen, guys, yes. I personally, when we started this project last year, okay, I thought we will be done in about October 2024, okay, and it's been a long journey, okay. It's a lot of kind of small, seemingly insignificant details, but suddenly that come up on the way, and you suddenly realize, fuck, oh, if we don't solve it, nothing works. It simply it's like that, okay? And we've been solving problems like this, one one after another, okay? Yes, and I'm so happy that we are almost at the end of the journey of solving all this, okay?
But this is exactly what I was saying beforehand. I think people are impatient and just want stuff done as quick as possible because we're all excited about it. But I think a lot of us also want to see it done with as least bugs and issues as possible. I know that's not always possible because once you put stuff out onto actual mainnet, you may get different variables that knock stuff out of whack. But like you said, it sounds like you guys are really trying to think of everything that could go wrong or potentially could go wrong in the future and sort of dealing with it now, which I don't think people would blame you for at all. I think it's a good thing.
No, I'm not talking about that. Bugs happen, whatever. No, I'm talking about specifically a situation when some event something comes after you launched the mainnet, and then you realize it's unsolvable. You need to scrape it. Okay, you need to scrape all your mainnet. Okay, you're done. Okay, I don't want to be there. Okay, never.
Yeah,
It need all the important details for it to be, for the system to be tight cryptographically, so everything can be proven. The state of L2 can be proven at any given time, no matter what happens, no matter how deep a reorg happens on L1, for example. Yes, okay, we cannot launch without it. Okay, and yeah, and it's been much harder than I anticipated when I started it.
I think another aspect we have to mention here, Dennis, thank you for like this speech. Just yeah, some like very specific things needs to be delivered. Like we're building decentralized system. It means our client should work not only on our local machines, it should work on like any other participant machine as well. So we're building node clients which can be given to people, and they will be given to people because testnet won't be only tested by us and our local setup. That's essential because we're building again a decentralized system, and that's like something what you do. You're not just testing on your machine, you're testing on other people's setup, and that's also something needs some work. But guys, like thanks, like we really we feel this friendly pressure from community. We feel we're getting lots of attention, lots of requests. Our DMs are full with this. Also our ecosystem is amazing, like people who's building, like huge shout out to KRC bot here. Like this great person single-handedly already built several very important development tools for our ecosystem. Like really huge thanks to you, sir, for that. And yeah, it's actually bad situation for us when people just working on something, cross-pollinating, exchanging information, helping each other with us. Even like we don't need to do anything because they found themselves ways to improve their tooling, to improve their code. So it's really kind of it's the best thing. It's kind of you have some small garden, but then all of a sudden people come and start working in it, putting some seeds, growing some fruits, and it's the best feeling you can ever have. I never had a garden, but now I kind of like we kind of have it. It's really beautiful.
love it, man. And again, it's good. It's like you said, the community really come together, and this is what being decentralized is all about. It's getting the best minds from as many different people as you can. And yeah, again, everyone is looking forward to layer 2s. There's no doubt about that. Obviously, everyone's looking forward to it. But yeah, future proofing it is exactly what is needed. So yeah, I think you guys, as much as you're probably getting sick of the when questions, I think it's just out of excitement. People are really excited about layer 2s on Casper and smart
Well,
contracts.
yeah. Again, as Mike says, when it's ready. Yes, when when the woman, when the thing is ready. Okay, to get out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good analogy. Oh, brilliant.
But probably it will be sometime in June.
Yeah, Dennis, you're going to get yourself in trouble, man.
Dennis, please shut up. Come on, man. Really.
I'm
Like,
not. I'm not. No, I'm not sure. I said probably, right?
That's definitely not a definite.
Everybody is going to quote you, and everybody is going to forget that one word.
And
yeah, exactly.
guys, seriously,
These
just watch.
spaces are
The
recorded.
only, like, with all due respect to Dennis, like the only source of information is our X account. I still struggle with saying that. I still want to say Twitter.
I also,
But
yeah.
yeah,
So
so
Twitter all the
X.
time.
Watch our X feed. That's where the proper date will be announced to everyone.
Awesome. Levendi, do we have to move on, or are we? What's going on?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
You should move on. I think we stole the half of the show. Okay.
No,
No,
was,
that's fine. We genuinely do love hearing all of your updates. I think Levendi's right, though. We'll probably have to dedicate a full space for you guys, because it's great having you up here and just having a bit of banter as well. But we've got loads of people to get through as well. And I know other people may be on a time crunch. So I do really, really appreciate you guys being up and sharing all the info you've got with us about IGRA. Still really exciting stuff coming, and exciting challenges to get over as well, which is always a good thing. Never a bad thing. Awesome. So, Levendi, who do we have up next?
So up next is none other than a man himself. He's been teasing us all morning, all day. Casper. What's going on, man? What you doing, man? What are you playing with our emotions like that? What the hell?
He has been teasing as well, hard. Yeah.
Yeah, listening to IGRA, guys, definitely it's like eye-opening for me because I learn a lot. So I really need to. In fact, no, I will never be able to reach that level of knowledge, right? Because I'm not that technical like these guys are, and it's truly amazing for me to listen to those that are hands-on in actual development and seeing and hearing the progress. So thank you for that. On the teasing part, I don't know. I just retweeted the tweet, and I have no idea what I wrote there, so have no clue. But what I can tell you is that you should keep a close eye to Casplex account on tomorrow, most probably, for some updates, which, in my opinion, are going to be very, very interesting. And I know for a fact that the layer 2 that is coming up is not going to be only the layer 2, but a bunch of other, let's say, functionalities that are critical for the end users, for all of us, in fact, not for the end users. So it's not the layer 2 only that is being developed. There are more, let's say, I wouldn't call them add-ons, but again, functionalities that will be very, very well received. So the teasing part, again, I have no idea. I was just retweeting something, but I do know that something is brewing and it will pop up very, very, very soon. As IGRA guys were saying, there are no dates, fixed dates, and I do agree with them because in development, I think it was Mike saying this. When you start something, you have the, let's say, the belief that you can finish this in like 1 week. And I'm not talking about layer 2, I'm talking any developments out there, right? So currently, for example, I'm building an application outside of crypto, doesn't really matter. And when I started it, I was like, this is easy peasy. It's going to take me like 1 week, right? And I have 1 month into it now, and I'm not even at half completion stage, right? So I do agree with the guys from IGRA saying, like, when you start something, if you are saying 1st of June, and then you actually hit the roadblocks and the issues that you encounter, and let's say the corner cases that weren't necessarily there when you started, you'll be in the situation where you need to say, sorry guys, not 1st of June, it's 1st of July, and then it's 1st of August, and then it's 1st of September. So giving dates is very, very difficult for everyone that had at least one line of code written, because you never know what's happening.
Yeah, totally agree with that. And it's well, firstly, these little these little hints and things that you're giving out, they sound very specific. Like you definitely know what's going on. Yeah, I bet. But it's so that's quite interesting as well about the other functionalities that your or Casplex may be building out as well. Can we dig any deeper into that at all?
We provide an end-to-end solution for everything that needs to be done on the layer 2. That's what I can say. So there shouldn't be any specific, let's say, how should I put it? Shouldn't be any specific. No, there might be very, very specific corner cases which aren't covered, but in my opinion, there will be none. So what is being built, it will, as I was saying, it will offer an end-to-end functionality for whatever a user is used with, let's say, today's Ethereum or whatever layer 2 built on top of that, right? But more on this, it will be probably announced and detailed when the time comes. So that's that, Chris. I cannot say more because I don't know more.
I mean, these guesses that you've got coming out seem very accurate. Absolutely love it. Awesome. So it's like really, it's all eyeballs on Casplex for tomorrow or over the next week at least for updates.
In my opinion, it's so what's happening now on Caspa, and again, I'm sorry, Mike, or if it was someone else from IGRA saying people don't know about Caspa, right? And only the tech guys are well into it. I have a different opinion on this one. So I do believe like tons of people are well aware of Caspa, and those media, if you want to call them, sites and crypto Twitter that didn't even cover about the crescendo hard fork, right? That was, in my opinion, but maybe I'm just a conspiracy guy. They did it on purpose, and on purpose from from 2 points of view. One, they didn't get paid. That's one, obviously, and secondly, but this is my personal opinion. They don't want to promote something that they don't own in huge quantities, right? So they cannot control it necessarily. So with egress layers to Casplex layer to Sparkle layer 1.5 or what's the, let's say, the tag there, everyone will understand finally, or will see, not understand, will see Caspa's power, right? The speed, the true decentralization, and the scalability of it, right? So I wouldn't say keep an eye necessarily on Casplex, but keep an eye on everything that is being built on Caspa. As Zigra was saying, with 30 developers, sorry, and what Crockbot were doing and are doing on Igra, that's amazing because at the end of the day, I'm always keep saying this. Imagine this: if it's me, right? I'm not part of any team. I'm just a normal crypto guy. Doesn't really matter for me who built what. If I have a DEX, if I have a swapping mechanism, have liquidity, if I can borrow, if I can lend, if I can do whatever everyone else is doing on other chains, then I'm happy. Doesn't really matter who built that for me, right? So it's not a race of who's delivering first. It's not a race of who's delivering and who's hyping more the product. It's about the race of delivering actual working solutions on Caspa. Call them ABC solution, doesn't really matter, right? This is our small echo chamber where we are all promoting different achievements, which is very, very good. But the user doesn't really care about that. Doesn't matter if it's me, you, or God, right? They only care, give me something to swap, give me to buy, lend, borrow, so on and so forth.
Totally agree with that. I mean, it's for most users, and I think even in the future for Casper, like most people may not, it may get to a point where if businesses are using Casper as a payment rail, most users, most customers won't even realizing they're using Casper. They'll just literally tap a card, and all of a sudden, all the magic happens in the background. And yeah, the value's been exchanged, but to them, it's just the same as using a centralized banking card or a Visa or anything like that. They may not even realize how good and decentralized it actually is. But like you said, for most people, they just want to know that what happens, and it's done.
Yeah,
So
and
yeah,
have you seen the? I'm watching Discord, and there is this guy that is building a taxi, something ride share company based on Caspa. And then there's another one that is going to have the point of sale, a POS, right, built on Caspa. And there is another one doing a vending machine, accepting hard cash for and transform it to Caspa. So if you look at these, like you would say, ah, nice idea, but it will not get traction. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that the solution, I don't know the guy, so I'm just assuming the solution works and proves something, right? Proves that Caspa is the underlying infrastructure needed for everything that you can imagine out there. So yeah, we shall see. I still believe, not I still believe, I wholeheartedly believe that Caspa, together with all the applications and let's say the doors that are going to be opened, will bring much attention from the entire crypto space. And as I was writing to someone in DMs, I don't believe retail is able to move when it comes to any cryptocurrency. But again, maybe this is just me again. There are the big players and the market makers and the whales that are just doing the games that they want to do. And I have so many examples of coins or tokens being held against the floor with the feet on their neck for years, and then they had like 300x. And I see this in stock market as well. Go look at Palantir. You will see that they were like crushed for almost 2 years at the absolute bottom, and then it did like 40x, right? So this is a big game, a big boys game, in my opinion. But this doesn't stop us to actually do our job, promote in what we believe, and dedicate our time because we believe in it. And maybe and hopefully someday, Caspa will get its let's say top 3 ranking place in the crypto space.
I think, and I actually totally agree with you with the retail side of things. I think in the beginning, especially for Casper, because it was fair launched, retail could move the needle there, but only up to a certain point. Like you said, it then goes into the realm of big boys, and big boys are playing games now. Like Casper's market cap is big enough for big boys to be playing with. But like even with the big boys, or just business in general, any business that deals in cross-border payments, it's beyond me why they're not looking at Casper to literally use as a payment rail. It just solves so many problems. It's unreal. If you need to pay someone in a different country, Casper can be done within a second, or finalised anyway, completely settled within 10 seconds. And the fee is like not even a cent. It doesn't make sense to me why big business or even small business that are just functionality cross-border payments aren't using Casper. It blows my brain.
And you know why?
Why they're not doing it?
Because
Sorry.
you know why? Because it does. I already provided the answer. Because the user doesn't really matter. For the user, doesn't really matter if he's using Solana or Caspa. If he wants to send $1 million, he can use it on. He can send it on Solana in 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever the settlement is there, right? So it doesn't really matter. Where it does matter, obviously, as you were saying, are the big players, the institutions, right? And the institution is not going to send something on a network, Caspa, for the time being, which is not yet proven in terms of actually seeing the smart contracts and everything that they are used to it, right? Because don't imagine, in my opinion, Bank of America sending $1 billion, buying Kaspa and then sending to a wallet, and the other wallet is going to sell $1 billion worth of Kaspa, and they did it in 3 seconds, right? That's not the way finance works, right? So they need smart contracts. They need to see everything is working and up and running. They need obviously zero knowledge proofs to prove verify and to create the proof and then verify the proof that that is indeed the case. So, but I think and what I feel now, Chris, is like we are so close, and this is just a start, because the layer 2 that will be built by, again, it doesn't matter who, will be just a stepping stone for what's next, right? You'll have then ZK, you'll have then more and more and more, you'll have DeckKnight, and you'll have so the ecosystem is like expanding, like a never-ending universe expanding, right? I see so many possibilities for Caspa and the tools, that at the end of the day, I am not joking, I'm thinking, why do we need any other cryptocurrency, if you want, right? You have Bitcoin, you have Caspa, and you have, of course, Ethereum, that proved throughout the years that the smart contracts are the way to go, and there are huge settlements done on Ethereum now by institutions. So for me, Caspa cannot be nothing else than number, let's not say 1, but 2 right after Bitcoin. But I guess time will tell, and we just need to make sure that we will be healthy enough to get to those times and celebrate then.
May I add my perspective? Because I agree very much with Kaspador that now Kaspa's speed is irrelevant for big players. Okay, if you want to send $1, $50, $100, you happily go to any other kind of fast but centralized network like Solana or whatever, and because your risk is very small. Okay, you don't care. Okay, you lost $100. Okay, who cares? Okay, if happens once in a few years event that this centralized network censors you or whatever. Okay, you lost $100. Big players, they go to Bitcoin or Ethereum. Okay, this is where real money still is. Okay, if you want to transfer $1 million, you don't care if it transferred in 1 second or 10 minutes. You really don't care. Okay, I super agree with Kaspador. Kasper is simply irrelevant for the small players. But
Conversely to that, I do agree sending 10, 20, 100, whatever, like a small amount of money that or that's relative to you. Really doesn't matter if you're on a centralized chain or anything like that, because you lose it, it's gone, but it's not the end of the world. But when you're a high net worth individual and you're sending millions, I think that does play a big part in solid, like where
yes,
the
Chris,
boost
and
security
this is why high net worth individuals still use Bitcoin or Ethereum for sending money. Okay, yes.
Yeah, and I agree with, like, say using Bitcoin, I totally agree with that. But say like Ethereum, it's not as secure as Bitcoin, or like, do you know what I mean? Like, surely you'd go for the most secure route.
Yes, if you want to go the most secure route, in my opinion, in the modern world, you go Bitcoin. No competition. Kaspa is about let's say last time I calculated it was 1 year ago. It was about 40 times less secure as Bitcoin. Okay, accept that. Okay, by hash power. If you just want to transfer money, it's not a use case for big money. It's not a use case for Kaspa at all. Okay, nobody cares. Okay, when you transfer $1 million or $10 million, if it happens in 100 milliseconds or 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very true.
There's
And
a
I think
different
that's
thing.
also.
There's a different thing to take
Sorry.
into perspective here. So those that know me well know that I've been working in the banking industry for a while, and the big thing in the banking industry is transferring money to and from each other, especially with Western Union across the globe. Now, over the years, I've served many people that have sent money, small amounts, small increments, week by week, month by month, to family members across the globe, and I've watched them getting eaten alive by all the fees and everything.
But
So
No, no,
when you're
Levendi, listen. Fees send on Tron. Okay, okay. This is why Tron is so big. Okay, because they cornered this market. Okay, remittances of poor people to Philippines to whatever. Yes, who don't want to pay Ethereum kind of prices for transactions. Okay, this is why Justin Sun is still in the business. This is not Kaspa's case.
yeah, Levendi, you are discussing about retail, right? Like they are
to a
sending
certain
the
extent. So I was
yeah.
going to say we generalize retail to the aspect of like closed shops and all of that, but when I say retail, I'm talking about people that are on the low ground that can't afford to send money to their families, and they use these services that end up costing them a lot of money in the long run. So
Listen,
if
they all use Tron. They all of these people already use Tron. Okay, USDT on Tron. This is what they use to send money to their to their poor families. Okay, Kaspa has no business there, no business at all. Okay, it's cornered by all this market is in Justin Sun's hands. Okay, forget about it. We need different markets, different one.
Yeah, but somehow let's say I'm with one foot on your side and the other with Levendi, because at the end of the day, Caspa will serve, again, in my perception, will serve both institution and obviously the retail. So coming back to my example with the point of sale that is being developed by someone, and again, I've read about this on Discord.
Yeah, these
Ma-
Czech guys. Okay, they're really cute. Yeah, yeah. I've seen their project. They really want to like make a hardware device, right?
yes, and
Yeah,
settling
they're
fiat to Caspa, and yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so bringing that to life, and again, if you're going to a store and you're going to tap your Tangent card, hopefully by the end of this year, and you will convert your Caspa and with Visa or whatever they are implementing, and settling on it in a few seconds. For me, as a user, as a normal user, doesn't really matter if it's Caspa or Solana. But when the big players will come and if you look at the other guys that are talking industrial initiatives, right? And when they're going to settle, like I'm just exaggerating now, I have no idea what they are going to settle, but let's assume I'm right. So they will settle oil transactions and let's say food and supply chain and everything, right? On Caspa, they will know for sure that Caspa is the place to go because of two major, let's say, things. One, it's 100% decentralized. Whoever can stream as much as they want. Casper is not decentralized because you have ASICs and there are huge farms. Doesn't really matter. Bitcoin has huge farms. Everyone has huge farms in a cryptocurrency that is let's say well established and well known, and obviously the price worth the investment. So they will choose Casper for being 100% decentralized, and secondly, they will choose it. And I hate saying this, but because it's like the buzzwords like solving a trilemma. But when you know that it's secure, fast, decentralized, scalable, you have no place to go. You're not going to settle transactions on Bitcoin, and you're not going to settle transactions paying hundreds or maybe thousands of dollars. I remember the days when there was a craze with the how are those called, Levendi, the airdrops. There were some pre-sales. I forgot the terminology. Doesn't matter. So when a smart contract was called like by hundreds of or thousands of people, I paid for transaction $1,500, right? So of course, if, assuming we will reach that level of adoption, we will have fees as well, right? And we've seen that in the KRC20 when we paid, like there were like 30, 40 CAS per transaction if you wanted to be included, and that was on the 1 BPS. So we'll have fees for sure, but we're not going to talk about hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars. So in my opinion, again coming to the root of the question, or let's say the topic, this is the stepping stone for Igra, for Casplex, for Sparkle, for Kaspa. All these teams are building something that should and will prove, in my opinion, the capabilities of Kaspa. And whilst, again, in my opinion, everyone is well aware of Kaspa and Coinbase and everyone else is aware. Imagine Coinbase didn't include Kaspa in their top 50 currencies. Why? Because they don't trust Caspa, or why didn't they include Caspa in their top 50? I have no clue, but I can have a wild guess, right? So as soon as all these solutions being built by, doesn't really matter what team will be delivered, people and masses will come to Caspa. My only concern is that, and this is happening since always, and we cannot overcome this in any way. You have the jumpers. I like to call them the jumpers, right? They see a new layer 2, jump on it, make their money, move to the next make money there, move to the next chain. So we'll have the bet players as well, irrespective of what they're going to build, be them betting platform, casinos, smart contracts for launching aircrafts, doesn't really matter, right? We'll have our fair share of jumpers, but they will settle. Some of them will settle on Caspa, and Caspa will be buzzing. In my opinion, by the end of this year, it should be on everyone's lips. But again, just my personal thoughts.
Kasper, listen, can I have your name so I can address you?
Sure. I'm George.
George, Dennis. Okay. Listen, I'm really happy that you brought up the KI guys. Okay, because this is what I was kind of trying to say. Okay, that retail, this small retail, which sends money home to and whatever, and wants to pay minimal fees. This is not Casper market. And I spoke to Rory from KI, okay, and asked him why do you want Casper, okay? And he said that we do business in the Middle East between governments, okay, and it's a very high frequency business, okay. This thing that they want to build, I don't know. Yes, like this energy market, okay. It's a lot of transactions, yes, a lot of very small transactions, very small transactions. Yes, this is their declared use case for this end market. So he says, okay, it's a lot of small transactions, but it's crossing kind of state lines. Okay, it's Middle East. All these governments don't trust each other and everything, and then none of these governments will agree to use any solution which can be subdued by any other government. Okay, so here we have, for example, plausible use case. Yes, that lots and lots and lots of small transactions, but which need to have the same guarantees as these people who send $10 million to each other. Okay, I like it. I like their stance on it. Okay.
I don't know what they're building and what
And
they're doing because
I have
sorry.
no idea what they're building. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody has any idea what they're building. Okay, because yes, but I was not talking about them, but about a plausible use case, which Rory kind of very clearly described. Okay, and I hope that these kind of players will come to our space. Okay, and these kind of players, they need Kaspa. Okay, a network which cannot be subjugated by any big player. Yes, but that is still cheap for one individual transaction, small one. I hope other players than not only KI will come to this space, and I build on these kind of players. Okay, for Kaspa, long run.
Yeah, so you're right, Dennis. We will see what the future will provide to us. Again, it's very, very soon. What matters mostly is to, in my opinion, for the low level, let's say folks, is to be very, very careful what they are doing, what they are stopping, where they are locking their liquidity. Smart contracts are bad as well. You will get you will see all the scams everywhere. So this is like for the normal user to understand.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Listen, all the normies here in the audience, okay? Expect your money to be stolen. Casplex and Onigra, okay? No variance. We will not do what the Sui does now, okay? We will not be able to revert you when somebody hacks. And if Zealous guys are here, if somebody hacks your decks, you're screwed, okay? We will,
exactly.
okay? Just be prepared for it, okay? And tell it to your users, okay? Good,
I got
okay? Done.
I got so many. My mother was and sorry for being so direct and blunt, was raped so many times in DMs by people telling me, why can't you revert my hacked Caspium transaction because someone had access to their seed. So unfortunately there are, and they were cursing at me because I cannot reverse the transaction like I was part of Casper or like I was able to do right. So you'll get those people always, and it's sad, and it's very, 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 very sad. I saw people losing $100 and they were devastated, and I'm not joking. And I saw people, and someone called me, and I'm not sure if he's in the space now, and I'm not going to tell the name. He's a pilot for a large company, right, a airplane company, and someone stole him like $100,000, and he was, I wouldn't say chill, but definitely most, let's say, well grounded. So it doesn't really matter if you are small, big, you need to keep an eye on that. And speaking of that, Dennis, Levendi and Chris, maybe we should jump to Zelos as well. I'm very curious to see what
Yeah,
what
guys,
they're
okay,
gonna do with
come
it.
up, come up, come up, okay. Now that you know you are screwed, okay, just come to the scene, okay.
It's definitely a good segue to move over to Zealous. Yeah, Zealous, how are you doing, guys? And yeah, interested to hear how your development's going as well.
Hey guys,
How
how
you
are you
doing?
doing? I'm great. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fantastic. I'm loving the space so far. Oh,
Wow.
Casper.
Okay, you're getting better with the effects. Okay. Now it was in place. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically we're at the last phase of audits. Speaking about the decks. So yeah, we've been auditing for the past 2 to 3 weeks, and now we're at the last stage. I think the reports will come in June too, and we will reveal who is our auditor. They are very reputable auditing firm. Yeah, and we've been also hammering our backends. We've hired a team, as said in the last episode. Yeah, they've been hammering also for the past 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, so we're pretty much ready from the auditing side. As for the DEX itself, we're happy with the feature we have. So now we're focusing on the aspect to onboard more users. So what we've spent doing for the past weeks, we've been translating the DEX. We want to have it translated to multiple languages: Chinese, German, Japanese, Italian, and other languages, Spanish, of course. And we've been also trying to add support for more wallets. We've been working with Castle, the Kaspa wallet. They are now EVM compatible, so we've integrated them. We've also integrated some hardware wallets. We've integrated Ledger and OneKey, both the hardware part and the software part. We've also added like 6 or 7 other wallets. I don't remember all the names, but some of them are like SafePal and Token Pocket, I believe. Other than that, we've been adding helpers inside of the DEX that will pop up whenever the user sees some stuff for the first time, or by clicking some stuff. which will help the user guide through his swaps, farming, explain it to newcomers. We've also been working on simplifying the wording that we use inside of the DEX, so new people could easily understand it and like don't feel overwhelmed like first time like trying a swap or yeah. So we don't want to push them away. We want it to be as easy and as smooth as it's possible. And we're pretty much ready to launch. We have gone through all of our bugs that we know about. Beta 5 has all the bugs fixes, so we don't have currently any bug that we are aware of on our list anymore.
No bugs. This is amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, really cool that you're getting on like that as well. It's been really good to see the progress that you guys have had. Because, like I said, it doesn't seem like you stop at just one thing. You go, well, we've got some more time. Let's keep building and let's keep testing and things like that. So I think you guys are doing a fantastic job, to be honest with you. Looking forward to when Zealous finally launch. That'll be fantastic. I think I cut Casper off. I'm sorry about that. Did you have a question?
Yeah, for Zelos guys, Zelos, or sorry for the pronunciation. Can you do in let's say a short phrase, explain like in simple words for the normies, me included, what would be the, let's say, the main functionalities that your DEX will offer, and if there are any functionalities that users are used with on the other chains that won't be present on your DEX?
Okay, so basically, we are a fork of Uniswap version 2. So everything you have in Uniswap version 2 is there, but we've like modified it. And Uniswap v2 pools have a fixed fee structure. We've modified that. We can dynamically change the fee of any given pool. So we can accommodate for stable coins in the future, because typically like stable pools need to be traded with lower fees. Also, we have created a NFT-based fee system where certain NFT stackers, when they reach a certain power level, they unlock a swap fee discount. So every swap they do on the DEX is discounted. It will be a 33% discount on every swap they do. We've also have a built-in protocol-owned liquidity system, where a part of the fee that every swap fee, a part of it goes and is forever locked in the protocol. Those protocol-owned liquidity can be reallocated to move to other pools, but they should never leave the protocol. So when we have a DAO later, people can strategically vote to reallocate some of the protocol-owned liquidity into certain pools, support like some trading pairs. Yeah, and we are building also a voting system, but it won't come in the first launch of the DEX. We've built farms to attract liquidity, to encourage more people to put liquidity into the protocol. And also we work on the tokenomics to be attractive to people coming from other chains. So it's designed in a way that early users can get high APR, high return on their investments. So that also would get other people from other chains, and if they like the protocols that they are on that chain, I believe they would stay. So yeah, that's basically what we've built so far.
Yeah, Luis, tell me, will you have something with lending, Aave style, or no?
Okay. So we were planning to work on something. We have a prototype. It's not a novice style. It's a compound version 2
Compound,
style
okay.
lending and borrowing
Compound style,
platform.
okay.
Yes, but we are working on On an intent-based cross-chain platform. Yeah, so basically, instead of using bridges, we want to have intent-based transactions, cross-chain transactions. We are still studying the protocol, if we can actually do it. And if we can pull it off, then we would do that before the lending and borrowing part.
Mm-hmm.
That would be amazing. I'm really, really interested in over-collateralized loans. I think if you're sensible with it, it'd be a fantastic thing for Casper. If you're not sensible with it, it could be horrendous and a cascade of cells. But either or, I think it's it's whatever anyone wants to do. But I use Aave, or have used Aave a lot for over collateralized loans, because I don't like selling my stuff. I like borrowing against it. One, for tax reasons, and two, because I don't want to get rid of something that I believe in. But yeah, so for Casper, that would be incredible. Also, is there any chance of throwing in a crypto mixer in there, a Cas mixer? That would be fantastic as well. Thanks.
Yeah, I would agree. That would be awesome.
Listen, anyone can deploy like Thor chain tornado like clone on Igra or maybe Casplex. Yes, anyone. Yeah.
When you say anyone, Dennis, I couldn't, definitely. I can barely use a calculator.
Anyone
so...
is you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now the MI5 or whatever is your secret service called knows who did it.
Yeah, definitely not me. I've convinced everyone I'm just a bricklayer. I'm actually
yeah, but anyone can do it, right?
Well, I hope someone does do it, because it would be fantastic. As long as they do stay anonymous, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But Zealous, you're obviously getting on really, really well. If, say, a layer 2 launched tomorrow, would you be ready to deploy, or is there still some little fiddly things you want to sort out first?
For the deployment side, we are fully ready. Like Beta 4 has everything included. Beta 5 is only improvements to the newcomers experience, which adds translation, more wallets, easier wording, and those stuff helpers in the decks. But functionality side, we've been ready from the past 2-3 weeks because we went into audits. The only thing that would not let us deploy on mainnet tomorrow is we don't have the audits completed. We are at the last stage, but it would be unwise from us if we have any more bugs in the decks to like just deploy and wish that there is nothing. So yeah, pretty much it's the audit that we are waiting for. And the last report should come out June 2 as agreed on.
Sorry, well, I missed that last bit. Did you say the audit's going to come out on June 12th?
2.
Oh, sorry, 2nd of June.
Yes, the final audit then completed. Like, yeah.
Amazing. Certic seal of approval. I'm joking. I know you wouldn't use it.
No, not Certic. No, not at all.
Well, we're getting closer, guys. We know we definitely know it's not Certic, so there's only like another 100 to choose from.
Yeah, Pavel would like them.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I think I leaked it, but
okay. Fantastic. And has there been any questions, Levendi, from the audience?
No, but a lot of love has been coming through with everyone on stage.
I mean, it's been a really, it's been a strange one today because it's been quite chilled actually. I quite like it. Quite like
It's been chilled. The topics have been sporadic as well, from start, middle to end. It's been pretty surprising space, to be honest. And I like what's been discussed. I wanted to know a little bit more about Moonbound, actually. Ashton, you got any updates for us on that? Is there anything new you'd like to share, or how's that coming along?
God, every time one of those, I like jump. I'm like not expecting it. I'm not used to these sound effects. But yeah, so we're in a very similar phase to Zealous, but I would say just a bit behind, maybe 1 week behind them, which makes a lot of sense for our timeline and how we've been thinking about it, because we will likely wait until an L2 actually releases, see how that operates, let Zealous deploy, get everything set up, see how the DEX is going before releasing Moonbound. So we're probably 1 to 2, maybe 2.5 weeks after the L2 drops that we'll even consider deploying Moonbound, just to give some time and buffer to look at things. But we're in the audit as well. We got back a kind of preliminarily final report today that gave us the issues we need to address. There's a handful of them for Moonbound, but all but one are essentially just informational changes that we need to. They're updates around variable names and uses of duplicative checks and really simple things that likely are already fixed after our dev meeting this morning. We've got one decently serious issue that they found out, which is kind of an interesting thing to think about. It's basically the idea of if someone creates a liquidity pool on a DEX before a token graduates, what happens, right? And I'm sure anyone in the audience that kind of understands how this stuff works can imagine that would be a pretty significant issue. So we're all hands on deck this week, finishing that and getting through the final audit report and making sure that that's good. But we've spent a lot of time over the last week and a half working on user experience. A platform like Moonbound needs to have a really good UI front end and overall user experience. So that's been a big focus, and it's improved significantly in that time frame, which is really cool.
Add the video like Pump Fun, okay? Video, okay?
No, definitely not. Absolutely not. Yeah, not gonna happen.
Yes, you are.
But yeah, the experience has been good, and we're gearing up for a public test too. Zealous has gone through a number of these open betas and given people kind of exposure to the platform itself and getting ready to use it. We're excited to do the same thing, likely towards the middle or end of next week, but it's coming quickly. So yeah, things are going great. We had one change with smart contract interaction with the bonding curve itself. Essentially, a recent upgrade changed to EVM. A recent upgrade to EVM changed the way we need to do these checks. So we've got a couple other kind of small tweaks that we're working on, but generally it's going really well. I've personally deployed, I think, 57 tokens on DevNet just to test the platform and start trading them. So there's a lot of weirdly named tokens on our test platform right now.
And has it reached the bonding curve yet and moved over to Zealous?
Yeah, all in dev and all with just a couple wallets that we've set up to do that. But yeah, we have tested graduation. It works, and everything's good. So it's moving along quickly. And honestly, the development of L2s is something that's hard to match progress on. I think Zealous has done a really good job from what I've heard and what we've seen working with them. And it's just, I can't wait for more information to be out there. So I'm going to be watching that account like a hawk tomorrow for sure.
I'm really looking forward to Moonbound because I think what you guys have are developing out there is fantastic, to be honest with you. And it's great that, like you said, like your goals for Moonbound go beyond Moonbound as well, and really could possibly help the have a good potential to help the whole Casper ecosystem even more. So I'm really looking forward to Moonbound, and I think, to be honest with you, with what I've seen on your on Moonbound's X account, the information out there is actually really good. It's really simple to understand how the process is going to work and what it's going to look like, which again I think needs to be it's sort of like what Zealous said they're doing. They're making it as user friendly as possible and just making it as simple to understand all the different processes that you're going to be going through. Because I think in crypto as well, we get to a point where, because we're in such an echo chamber, we just assume that everybody knows what they have to do, which can actually be a security risk for them. They may not have a Scooby-Doo about what they're doing. So yeah, the fact that you've obviously, or whoever's been doing the Moonbound stuff, has really laid it out in a simple format for people to understand how the process is going to actually look like and how it's going to actually work. So I think that's been a fantastic job on your part as well. And yeah, just mega looking forward to Moonbound.
Cool. Thank you very much, Chris. And yeah, I got to pass along that appreciation for the educational post. That is definitely Chris from our team and the marketing contributors that are on that team there. But yeah, they're doing a fantastic job. And it's all comes back to kind of like building for your least knowledgeable community member, right? I think there's a lot of people in CAS that have experienced crypto and experienced ETH and smart contracts, but there's also a lot of people who haven't and just aren't. The term we've been using is DeFi ready. And it means we've got to focus and build for those people, not the ones that are the most educated and experienced already. So it's important to get the information out, and I think important for everyone who's listening to not move that fast, right? I mean, there's time for everything. So do your research, understand what you're getting into first before you do anything, and you know, we'll try our best to help out along the way with educational content.
Absolutely fantastic, man. I am looking forward to it. Was there anything else that you wanted to add?
The only other thing I was hoping to talk about was the in real life event that's going to be in September in Berlin this September. I said that backwards. Sorry, but we've got more meetings coming early next week, and I just can't say anything just yet. So it's going to have to be next week. But it is a real event, and it is coming. What it's going to look like and who all is going to be there, that's for next week.
Ashley, can you tell me more? What? September Berlin, what?
We've been kind of teasing about this for a little while, but it's an in real life event that is kind of like conference meets festival. The entire goal is Kaspa denominated economy. It's a single day event in Berlin. I actually reached out to Mike about it a few months ago.
No, tell Pasha, because Pasha lives in Berlin. Okay, he needs to be there. We can just
okay.
Walk from his house to your event. Okay.
That's perfect. I'll you and I have a DM chat or group in there anyway, so I'll get an introduction to him from you offline here. Thanks, Dennis.
Right.
Is it held at the Kit Kat Club? That's what everybody wants to know.
Hey, Zealous, you got your hand up. You got a question, bro?
Sorry, real quick before Lewis goes, sorry for the awkward silence there, Chris. My kids just got home from their grandparents. They were banging on my door. So I was muted and running away from you while you were asking about the Kit Kat Club.
And he got you in trouble, man. Apologies. Yeah, sorry, Zealous, you had a question.
I wanted to add two more things. One of them is that also for the past weeks, we've been buying KRC20 tokens to help them boost their liquidity into our platform. So yeah, we've been buying the top projects. We've been prioritizing project with fair launch because the other projects have allocations for liquidity. But we've bought some projects that are not fair launch. But we've mainly focused on fair launch projects. Those will be boosted up into the liquidity, into the protocol at launch. Of course, projects will add their own liquidity, and their users and investors will add. But yeah, that's from us to even the liquidity pools. And also to answer Kaspa's question earlier, we've also built in partnership with Nacho a Nacho Cats NFT stacking system where the user can will usually get benefits when they stack the Nacho Cat NFTs. One of the benefits is when they reach like the 100K power points, they unlock a swap fee discount on our platform. Other benefits come from revenue sharing from Moonbound to the NFT stackers. Also, NFT stackers get voting power in our upcoming DAO. And there will be other future benefits to it. We also have a Nacho NFT, Nacho token infinity pool, which people can stack the Nacho tokens in it, and revenue comes from Nacho products. The first one is Moonbound. They compound inside of the pool. Also, we have a similar system for our token, Zell, which user can stack it. They receive XL. The pool grows, the stacking pool grows from a part of the feed of the swap fee is directed towards the pool. Also, it grows from ZEAL emissions, and that is our way to fairly distribute the rest of the supply and encourage other people and other people coming from other chains to come to the existing products on our chains to benefit from the high APRs and to make money.
Amazing. I'm actually really looking forward to the Infinity Pool as well. I think that's a really good idea because as far as, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure you will. With the Infinity Pool, you're basically getting, instead of having to choose one sort of place where you have to stake or put your tokens, with the Infinity Pool, you're literally getting it all from different directions, if you know what I mean. Like it's a one-stop shop for different projects coming in. If I know what I'm saying. I don't know if I'm putting it out there properly to people, but is that essentially what the Infinity Pool is? If you understood any of my babble.
Okay, so basically the Infinity Pool is called Infinity Pool because it never ends. For the ZEAL case, for our Infinity Pool, for the ZEAL token, we have 8 years of emissions. After those 8 years, it will still be infinite because it's not generating just the emissions, it's also coming from part of the swap fee. So each time user swaps on our DEX, some of that fee is directed to that liquidity pool, that ZEAL Infinity Pool. So that's why it's called Infinity Pool. We have another Infinity Pool, which is the Nacho Infinity Pool, and it is called also Infinity Pool because as long as the Nacho ecosystem is generating revenue, like, let's say from Moonbound for now, this pool will receive the revenue generated from Moonbound as long as Moonbound is active. And if they have other products in the future, they can easily integrate into that pool. Also, anyone that is willing to give or distribute rewards into that pool can do that, and all the stackers will benefit from it for both pools, for ZEAL and Nacho pool. Yeah, so basically, also the NFT system, anyone can integrate with it, with the Nacho. Like if someone wants to distribute something to the Nacho Cat NFT stackers, they can easily integrate with the stacking system.
Awesome. Ashton, you got your hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to add on and kind of agree with Lewis on the Infinity Pool stuff and the staking contract, because we talked about it a lot, and the idea was built that there really should only be a single pool that rewards users for holding these assets like Nacho Cat's NFTs or Nacho tokens. And we didn't want to create an environment where users have to choose between different Infinity Pools or different staking pools to earn different rewards, right? There could be a potential for something in the future if we didn't have this care where someone may need to choose between staking their Nacho tokens on Zealous for Moonbound revenue or on X platform for Y revenue, right? And this is exactly why it was built this way. That's completely open. So anyone can distribute revenue rewards to that Nacho tokens infinity pool, and it'll get distributed just the same as the Moonbound revenue does. Same with the NFT staking contract. It's queryable so that you can actually get the list of addresses that have staked for distribution. This is how we're going to do this with the 10% that comes from Moonbound. It's essentially pulling from that contract, finding out who has staked, what addresses they are, so that they can get their proportional revenue share. So it's a really cool system when you peel back a couple layers of the onion, because you end up having the opportunity to build on top of it and continue rewarding the exact same pool, the exact same users, and not creating a fractured system for them where they have to choose between two good options, right? So there's likely, I can't promise there's more to come in the future. Obviously, we have no idea, and it just is the Moonbound revenue for now. But we've built all this and worked really closely with Zealous to make sure it's an opportunity and kind of a foundation to continue building on for the long term. So I think there's a lot on the horizon here.
Awesome, man. And you know, all of that babble I said previously, that's exactly what I was getting at. I just wish I could articulate it as good as you can.
I heard what you were saying, man. We worked together for a year now. I understood it for sure.
Yeah, thank God for that. Ashton can now speak builder, so it's really good. But yeah, it is exciting stuff to come, and yeah, the idea of the infinity pool for obviously different tokens, different NFTs is a really good idea, and yeah, I think one that's going to work well. I'm looking forward to that one as well. Everyone's just, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of just before KRC20 launch. Everyone was just itching, like everyone's itching for things to happen. Layer 2s to come online and Zealous swap to come online, Moonbound. Oh, it's that sort of exciting time where you feel like it's Christmas as a kid. You sort of you I don't know. You get impatient, don't you? But it's still exciting at the same time. I can't wait.
Hey man, June is not that far away.
Oh, don't. It's going to be so good.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
June 2026 is not that far away.
Yeah, yeah. Oh God. You know what? Like, because I see in the timeline as well, just going on about just Casper in general. I think people are getting really, really worried about, obviously, Casper's price isn't pumping and blah 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 blah. Genuinely, I've got the biggest, and I'll put this out there. It's recorded now, so people will can play this back. My prediction is it will toss about for a little bit, then it will explode up to 20 cents. People will then sell because they're so bored and just irate with Casper price and think that it's going to get to 20 and pull back. It will pull back a little bit at 20. Then the majority of people will get out because they go, yeah, no, we are right. It's going to go back down. And then it will explode past 20 and then keep exploding because people will be in disbelief of how much is exploding. I feel like Donald Trump right now. You're going to keep winning and you're going to say, please stop winning. But anyway, yeah, so it's just going to keep exploding. And then it will have a little pullback. People will get in. It will explode one more time where they think they're right, and then things will crash again. Because literally, it's all to do with global liquidity. That is the main driver of anything. So yes, all this bullish stuff's come out about Casper. The crescendo, we've got layer 2s getting worked on. We've got DEXs finally coming online eventually. Moonbound coming, but like a proper way to do it, not the scammy sort of ways to do it.
Thank God there's no streams as well. Fucking hell. Yeah, I was gonna unmute my mic when I heard that. Jesus, but yeah, no, Ashton straight out with a no, thank you. I like that answer, man. No streams, please.
Yeah, on that note, we're actually taking it kind of a step further. I know Pump Fund and some of these platforms now have this, so I can't say that we're very unique in this regard. But generally, we want the platform to be something that anyone can pull up anywhere. Doesn't matter if you're sitting in the lobby of your local, church or temple or mosque, or you're at work or something else, you can pull it up. So by default, all of this not safe for work style content is essentially not blocked but hidden from the homepage. There's an easy way for users to enable that and voluntarily say, hey, I do want to see this. But from hateful speech in text to certain types of imagery, it's all designed to be safe first, but also still completely decentralized and uncensored on chain. So anyone can deploy anything they want to, just like they should be allowed to. But we'll make sure we give a notification to users coming to the site to say, hey, are you sure you want to see this in this environment?
So will my butthole token be visible to everybody, or will they have to opt into that one?
They'll definitely have to opt into that one. And rightfully so, I think.
Oh God!
I don't think anyone needs to see Chris with butthole.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh God, I can't wait. I actually can't wait. But yeah, no, it sounds awesome. That and again, this is what I like about how these developments are happening. You get time, like as things are building out, you get time to think about all of these things. And I know exactly what the Nacho team are like anyway, and obviously Zealous Swap now as well. You don't just stop at one thing, you just keep building out. Well, we've got more time, what else can we think of, what else can get added on? And yeah, again, it's little tweaks like that I do think really help, because as much as we like to be as degen as possible, at least opt into being as degen as possible, if you know what I mean. You don't, like you said, you don't want kids going on Moonbound and seeing shit that they shouldn't be seeing, or anything like that. So I just love that idea. I think it's a really good idea, and I'd imagine it's quite a. It's just, do you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's a little thing, but it is little things like that really do count and just make the experience much better. So yeah, fair play for adding that functionality in.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's just important, I think. And it goes back to the values thing I talked about earlier, and we've talked about for months, right? It's just you build for the, I always shy away from saying the weakest link. The old saying is the weakest link, but it sounds kind of derogatory when you say it like that. But the least educated person, right? The person who needs the most support and help. And even if that is a kid that stumbles on the site or grandma, going somewhere, it's important to have their interests in mind as well. But yeah, I'm thrilled. I'm really excited. I don't know if we're going to get this into the initial launch or if it's going to be shortly after launch.
Oh my goodness me, I'm so sorry, Nacho. I muted you by accident. Fucking hell. I'm pressing unmute now. I'm so sorry. I tried to check the request.
That's okay.
And I hit mute.
I was going to give you a little bit of alpha, and now you don't get it.
No, don't do that. Don't do.
Typical Android user, ruining it for everyone.
Oh God,
ruining it for all the
new
adults.
iPhone I was using, man. I'm sorry.
A new iPhone to me is an iPhone 6. But yeah, sorry, Ashton, you got cut off.
No, it's okay. I was dead serious.
Thanks a lot, Levendi. Jesus. What Levendi was doing was just showing you our functionality for things that we're protecting people. We mute everybody when we think something's going to be said that shouldn't be said.
You were protecting me from myself, because
yeah,
I would have gotten in trouble if I said it.
Exactly that.
That's okay. There's always another blockchain banner. Just come back next week, guys.
Exactly. We love a blockchain banter. What are we? 52 now. 52 weeks.
Week 52, man. We're 3 weeks away from a year. It's been an incredible 12 months, man. To say the least. The amount of people we've met and connections we've made, it's just what's made it for me, man. It's honestly, I was reflecting back the other day. I don't know whether it was in one of our chats we got or on a call, but I was reflecting back on it the other day, just looking back at what an incredible achievement this is.
What's with the 3 weeks though? If it's 52, we do this once a week. Yeah. I mean, there's 52 weeks in a year, or am I crazy?
No, we're saying we're 3 weeks. I was saying we're 3 weeks away from a year. We're in the 12th month. So So where I come from, when birthdays, we say we're going to close it the birthday instead of counting it as the full birthday, if that makes sense. So in my mind, 52 weeks is closing the full year. I don't know if I explained that well. It's a Greek thing, but yeah. Anyway,
I don't fully understand, but it might just be me too. I was just like, once a week, 52 episodes. That's 52 weeks. That's a year. What are we talking about? I don't get it. It's probably me.
Wait, what the fuck am I talking about?
Yeah, no, I'm confused. I'm with Ashley
Oh,
on this
thank
one.
you, Chris. Thank you.
Wait,
I felt so
what the
alone.
fuck am I? We are a year. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What have I got
52 weeks
55
is a
in my
year, dude.
head?
I don't know
Oh,
what you
God, it's
do
too
with
late.
those extra 3
Yeah,
weeks.
we've
Too
missed our
late.
birthdays.
Yeah, we missed our
We've missed our
birthday.
birthdays.
Shit,
Thanks.
happy 3 weeks late. No, I'm joking. Jesus Christ, where the I must be tired, man. I must be tired. But yeah, oh, happy 12 months. Happy 12 months. It's been an incredible achievement. And I did honestly mean what I was saying earlier. I was reflecting back. Thanks for that. I was reflecting back and looking at everything. You know, Ashton, I think I mentioned to you about your framework you was even doing with blockchain Banter last year, earlier on today. That was a memory and a half.
Oh yeah, building transparently. That was a fun little series, little short series.
Absolutely. I think we got the. Oh shit! No, I didn't save it. I need to look back and get it saved. But I'm gonna have a look at that framework and see how you built it, man. It's just gonna be one of the things I'm probably gonna write about on Crumpet Media, unless somebody beats me to it. You know something. I had a question for Zealous earlier. I forgot it. Went on a little 55-week, 52-week, 12-month tangent, and now I've come back to it. Zealous, I want to ask you this question. You said you was picking up some fair launched tokens. What about fairly distributed tokens? Did you pick up any of them?
What are those? Like which ones?
Crumbs.
Yeah,
Lewis,
sorry,
he's
I was
talking about
my
crumbs.
mute.
You missed it, man. That was like perfect
I
timing.
was about to drop it. I got muted, and I'm messing about with my requests again. I don't know. Someone's pressing the thing, and I'm trying to accept and it's declining. I don't know what's going on, but I'm messing about with my mic. I did mean crumbs. Sorry.
Okay, so we've been looking at the top 10, 15 projects mostly. I wish we could buy like a lot more, but we are limited on the money we have. Yeah, but you can still apply for our boost program, and if you qualify, we will contact you and buy some of the liquidity.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. And you know something? If money is the issue, then you can just claim them for free. There's only a few left, though.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
he
there's
hit
not-
you with a if you qualify.
Because he knows it's Android use.
That's what it is.
Sketchy with those people. You've got to be skeptical. But yeah, I mean, Crumbs is nearly out now, isn't it? The toaster, it's like 30 million or something.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, there are only crumbs left in there right now.
You know, we was at 30 million as I was finishing work. We're at 25 now.
Holy shit! Someone's really going for that.
Yeah, bloody hell.
Definitely, they got to be. Zealous, sorry, you got your hand up.
I have one question. What are the crumbs for, and what's the purpose, and like what's the vision for it? I really have no idea what it does.
So, where do we begin, Chris? Do you want to take it, or shall I?
Yeah, so well, Crumbs is just going to be used for the Crumpet Media website. It's going to be a decentralized media platform, so they're going to be used for. It's a utility token, basically. It's going to allow people that hold Crumbs to write articles. It's also going to allow people to vote up and vote down articles. And the reason we sort of had the vision of decentralized media is because actually there was a recent thing that happened with Cardano or with Charles Hopkins. I can't say his name. Hoskinson's. There was a lot of FUD being written about him by media articles, and he said like it's just ridiculous how they're just all jumping on the bandwagon. No one actually, but but they do it for reasons because they want to bait people into their media platform. And we see this a lot in just normal media as well, and like centralized media. People pay to have their stuff put up front. And so the narrative's driven really by the person with the most money. And so we just thought a really good idea for a decentralized media company where people can pay using crumbs to write an article, but they're not going to a central thing. Like anyone can write whatever they want. Obviously, there's going to be barriers put in place for any sort of hateful, really bad speech. But to a degree, anyone can write whatever article they feel is of interest, and then it's up to the wider community to vote using crumbs whether they think that should be pushed to the front page or not by voting it up and voting it down. So yeah, that was a really long-winded way of saying it's a utility token.
I love the idea. It's a really neat one, to be honest. And we definitely needed that.
No, I appreciate it. There's the brainchild of Levendi. I thought it was a really, really clever idea. So
it is. It really is.
And I'm all about freedom as much as possible, and I thought that was just a brilliant idea. I think it's good.
Thanks. Sorry, I've been frantically trying to unmute, been fighting with this bloody button. Dave Toshi's been trying to come up to ask some questions about the bonding mechanism for Moonbound, I imagine. Dave, what's up, bro? Welcome to the stage. What's your question, man?
Hey, apologies for whatever was happening with your mute button and my request button. Seems like they were having a bit of a fight. Yeah, so my questions are just like, okay, so like it's going to be a pump fund type thing on Kaspa. I think that's awesome. I looked at the bonding mechanic. It seems like it makes sense. The pieces that I would love to know are, well, what incentive is there for people to launch tokens? Like, are they going to be bundling some supply? Can they just purchase like everyone else? Is there an incentive if the token bonds that goes to them? And what happens with the fees? Are there fees that are used to, do they go to the community? Are they used to burn some kind of token? Is there some kind of Ponzi that like the fees will play back into, or are those just going out to the team who created it? Those two, I would love to know the answer to those two things.
Happy to answer those things. They're really good questions. So in reverse order, the revenue distribution is well documented on the website. It's just moonbound.gg. It's in the flow chart, but I'm happy to explain it here as well. So 100% of revenue is captured through three main things. So very small launch fee. You can think $5 or less. This is not so much a revenue generator as it is a spam preventer. There's a 1% fee on the CAS side of trades within the bonding curve. Those are captured on every trade and automatically sent to the vault, which is a smart contract. And then there's a graduation fee, which is technically a fee, operates just like any of these other platforms, but no one really pays it, right? It is subtracted from the liquidity that is then put on the DEX at the time of graduation, which is Zealous Swap. So those three constitute 100% of revenue from Moonbound. They're all routed to a renounced smart contract that we call the Moonbound Vault. And once a week, it distributes revenue to 4 parties. So, and this kind of answers your first question as well. So 10% of all revenue goes into the Nacho Infinity Pool, which is essentially just a single-sided staking pool for Nacho tokens designed to capture that revenue share. It's an auto-compounding infinity pool with no impermanent loss risk. The second revenue share component is the NFT staking. This is also 10% of revenue. It's distributed by proportionally by staking power for Nacho Cat's NFT stakers. This is also done on the Zealous DEX, and it's the same staking contract that gives you discount fees on Zealous swaps, voting power in their DAO, and eligibility for their airdrop that's coming later this year. So again, no choosing between two good things, right? You just all in one platform there, you get the benefits of Zealous and the revenue distribution from Moonbound. The third revenue share component is also 10%. So all three of these are 10% apiece. And this goes back to projects that launch tokens on Moonbound. And it's distributed proportionally based on the volume of trades for that token on the bonding curve itself. So it's designed to be a limited amount of like seed funding you can think of for projects that launch. And the whole mindset behind this is essentially trying to encourage more sustainable projects that actually want to continue building and give them some initial funding to help facilitate that community building and development, rather than just fly-by-night scams that graduate and then sell their entire bag and move on. So that 10% is distributed back to creators by wallet address of tokens on Moonbound once a week based on their volume on the bonding curve. This means that they won't receive revenue share forever. Once their project or their token graduates to the DEX, they'll no longer be eligible, right? They'll have one last payment that covers the remaining volume that hasn't been paid out yet. And then they won't be on this list anymore because their bonding curve volume will drop to 0 because it's closed and they're graduated on the DEX. So that covers all the revenue share that goes back into community members' hands directly. It's 30% of total project revenue. It's distributed 10, 10, 10. The 70% goes back to Kaspa Alliance for Transparency, which is the foundation that we incorporated, nonprofit, a few weeks ago. And it is all being developed for completely decentralized governance, voting on this. And it's going to be designed to push back into the Caspa ecosystem. So the goal here is to highlight events and adoption activities that can bring more people to CAS, sponsor projects and independent developers through grants, and continue developing initiatives in-house that push Caspa ecosystem and associated L2 ecosystems farther. So you see 4 revenue shares, all handled by a renounced immutable smart contract vault. 70% to the foundation, 10% to projects that launch, 10% to NFT stakers, and 10% to token stakers. So hopefully that answers both your questions, Dave.
It actually does fully. I guess so the deployer's incentive is really like the whatever percentage accrues from the bonding process, whatever volume is there up until that point accrues to the deployer. So there's an incentive for that person. That makes sense. And the way that the funds are distributed, I think, is really interesting as well. I guess post bonding, is there locked liquidity? There's no one that can basically rug the pool. And then
Yes.
The other thing would be for contracts, are they all standard contracts, or is there some discretion if you want to release some kind of an interesting token, I don't know, a tax token or something like we've seen on other chains? What's the contract output and the liquidity, the pool lock?
Yeah, really good question. So the liquidity lock is an easy yes. So the way the bonding curve is set up, 75% of a token supply is sold to users on the curve. 25% of that max supply is reserved from the beginning for that LP on the DEX. So we pair 25% of the token's max supply with the Caspa generated during bonding curve trading minus fees to create that liquidity pool on the DEX, and then those LP tokens are burned so that that liquidity is permanently on the DEX. So we're starting out every token with 25% of its max supply locked in DEX liquidity permanently, which I think is a huge, huge boost.
Definitely.
Most other bonding curve style platforms don't allow users to set the max supply of their token. And this is something we really wanted to allow from the beginning, because the only way it really works to not control your max supply or not have any say in it is if you want to create a meme coin that you really don't care about doing much with, which is great. Honestly, Moonbound will predominantly be memes, I imagine. It just is what happens naturally with these type of platforms. But we wanted to give the ability for anyone to create a token that they wanted to, and controlling their tokenomics matters a little bit. Of course, we still enforce the fair launch. There's no way to pre-allocate or pre-sale or any of that type of nonsense, but you can control the max supply of your token when you launch on Moonbound. So you're able to get a little bit, I guess, creative or more creative than you could on, say, Pump Fund, with what you want to do with your token long term. You've got the funding revenue initially as a seed, and you've got some control around the max supply. But aside from that max supply, they are essentially standard open Zeppelin style ERC20 contracts. So We want to get into that. We've already roadmapped some of those custom output contracts that would allow more functionality. But for a platform that hasn't even launched yet, on an L2 that hasn't even launched yet, we wanted to keep things simple to get started. So it's definitely going to be, V2, V3 style feature.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like, I guess it's hard to give full autonomy, but like a little bit of discretion on like the contract itself would be interesting. Like, there are some creative ways that you could put together a contract that is, still fair launch and not exploitative, but also has some kind of an interesting Ponzi built into it itself. That's cool. Very cool.
Yeah, if you're open to it, Dave, I'd love to open up a DM with you and learn a little bit more about what you're talking about and hear out kind of some of these examples of what those contracts could look like. Because like I said, we are roadmapping this and talking about it a lot, and it sounds like you know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, for sure. I'll open up a DM.
Cool.
Love
Thank
to
you very
speak with
much.
you.
All happens here on Blockchain Banter, doesn't it? Awesome. It's like the greatest networking space ever. It is good though. I love seeing this. I love seeing people get together and connecting minds. It's brilliant. And it's again, this is to me, this is the power of decentralization. I've got a lot of faith in people, and I think when people come together with brilliant minds, not one person knows everything, but a group of people that know a lot about a bit can really make a difference. So yeah, it's awesome to see. With that, Levendi, do we have any more questions for anybody else?
No, unless our lovely panelists have any questions for anything up here. I've not seen any more coming through the comments or in the back end channels. And I've got to say, it's been an awesome space. I've enjoyed the conversations and listening to the conversations as well. I've learned a bit. Dave, thank you for coming up here, mate, as well, and going through that. I know you liked Pump Fun back in the day, and I had a dabble back there as well. I'm not sure if you still do, but they've blocked it here in the UK, unfortunately. There is some aspects that I miss from it, and I'm glad Nacho and Moonbound, Nacho have created Moonbound, and they are doing it properly. So hats off to you guys.
You said you learnt a lot today, Levendi. Was one of the things you learnt today that there are 52 weeks in a year?
That's 55, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I can't believe I had that in my head for so long as well. I think I said it last week. Now that we're talking about it, and memory's coming back to me. I think I kept even 2 weeks ago. I kept saying we're this many weeks away from 12 months. We're this many. Little did I know we're already here. What bloody hell am I talking about? Anyway, I think that's
Dude, I cannot tell you, Levendi, real talk, dead ass honest. I have done the math on this like 3 times because I didn't understand what you were saying those last couple of weeks. And I'm like, I'm the crazy one. I have to be wrong. It's his show. He knows what he's talking about. Make the math make sense.
When he said it was like a culture thing, because obviously Cypriot and Greek and that, I thought I'm not gonna say anything because he'll just call me a racist if I did. But it turns out he was just completely wrong. So
yeah, just completely dumb.
It's nothing to do with Greek culture at all.
That's all it is. I'm absolutely fucking challenged. That's the word.
But just so the audience is clear, Greek people don't actually have 55 weeks in their year. They have a 52 week like everybody else. So that's good to know for sure. Before we close out, did anybody on the panel have anything more they wanted to add about any of their projects? No, that's cool. Levendi, should we close out then? Is that good for us?
I just thought absolutely awesome end. I wanted to give a massive shout out to Cryptopumpz down there, who've been diligently streaming this entire show both on X via video and on YouTube via video. Thank you so much for doing this week in and week out. I think we've got a Sunday roast coming up, Chris, don't we? It's in 55 weeks. No, I'm joking. It's in 7 days. I think, was it on the 1st? Yeah, I think we're on the 1st. So I can't wait to go over. There's quite a few posts that have been happening across the timeline in this last 30 days that I've been itching to roast. I'm not going to lie. And I've been sending them in the back end sort of sporadically in our channels and been absolutely ripping them to shreds. But can't wait to jump on the Sunday roast. So I think I'm going to say goodnight now before I start mumbling my words. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for asking all these questions. And thank you for all the alpha from all our panelists. Have a good night, and we'll see you on Sunday.
100%. And yeah, just a final massive thank you from me to all our panelists who come up, shared all their details. Really appreciate your time. And again, a massive thank you to our audience. You guys are awesome. Without you, we wouldn't have a decent show. So thank you for listening in. We hope you came for the blockchain but stayed for the banter. Good night.